Hey you guys, my name is Brittany Bryden. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to give you a practice that is a real juicy one for your hamstrings. I'm going to be using today a core-ageous ball, but if you don't have one at home, you can use a block. And if you don't have either of those props, then don't worry, you can still do this practice without them. Just envision that they're there. All right, so let's get into it. You're going to set your prop off to the side, not too far because we'll need it soon. But you're going to come down onto your hands and knees. So make your way in a table. Come on your fingertips, you're tenting through the hands. And then we're going to move through the spine. So you're going to lift the chest forward, send the tailbone up, get some extension through the spine. And then flexion as you round and push away from the floor. Now you're going to continue on your own. And I'm not going to cue you through it because I just want you to go in and to move intuitively. So how does it feel? What do you need to add in? Where do you need to move? One more round. And then just come into a neutral spine. Turn your fingers to face the sides of the mat and just start to take your shoulders side to side, forwards, backwards. And now spin your fingers all the way around so your fingers face your knees. And then start to move through those cat-cows again. One more cycle. And then come into a neutral spine. You're going to come off the hands, give your hands a good shake. And just send the hips back and come into a child's pose. So you can take the knees wide or you can bring your knees a little closer together. Whatever is most comfortable for you. And if child's pose is not at all comfortable and you prefer to sit on your heels, resting your hands on your thighs, you can do that as well. Just coming into a place where you can close your eyes and tune into your breath. So go inwards. You'll let the tongue just rest gently on the roof of the mouth. And starting to feel the breath moving in and out of the nose. Notice the detail of your breath. The length of it, where it feels stuck. And during your practice today, if you start to get lost and caught up in a narrative that you're creating in your mind, just be aware that you have trailed off and you'll come back to your breath. You'll use your breath to anchor you. Anchor you here in the present, now. This is your time. So you're going to walk your hands over towards the right side. Interlace your left hand into the webbing of your right hand. And then just shift your hips over to the left side. Walk your hands through center and reach over to the left now. Right hand on top of the left hand and shift your hips to the right. And then bring your hands back to center and come into that tabletop. So you're going to grab your prop, whether it's the ball or a block, and place it. We're going to start on the right side. So you're going to bring your right heel in towards the glute and place that prop in between the heel and the glute. So you're using your heel to keep that prop in place. And if you don't have either prop, just envision that it's there. Lift the thigh up towards the ceiling and stay there. So as you squeeze the heel into the ball, into the block, lift the thigh up without opening the hips to the right. And then start to support your spine through the core. So pick up through the front. Keeping the heel in tight to the glute, we're going to move through some circles. So you're going to bring the knee in towards center. Take the knee out to the right side without transferring all your weight to the left. left. So keep the weight even in the hands, and then take their knee up towards the ceiling so you're returning back to where you started. So you'll do that again. Bring the knee in towards center, take the knee out to the right, and the knee up towards the ceiling. So move through a couple more on your own. And then you'll go the opposite way. Oh. And then give your right leg a good shake. And we'll set her for the other side. So now take your prop to the left side, so the left heel hugging in towards the glute. Shoulders over top of the wrist, and start to lift the left thigh up. And then start to move through those circles. Bring the knee in, wide to the side, up towards the ceiling. A couple more times in that direction. And then you'll go the opposite way. Ooh. Give it a good shake. So set that prop off to the side, tuck your toes under, pick the hips up and back. That should feel real nice after what we just did. So finding your down dog, pedal with the legs, so bending one knee, straighten the other, shifting side to side. Lifting the heels up, bend your knees, and you're going to walk your feet forwards as you come to the top of the mat. So you'll take your feet nice and wide, have the knees bent, drape yourself over top of the legs, finding a nice ragdoll. You can reach for either elbow here. Gently shake the head. And then releasing the arms down, keep the knees bent nice and slow. You're going to roll up to stand. So when you come to the top, just shake out your legs. And then grab that prop again. Place the ball or the block in between the thighs. And you're going to reach both arms up towards the ceiling. So as you reach the arms up, start to adduct, so start to engage the inner thighs, like you're hugging the inner thighs towards one another. Both arms are reaching towards the ceiling. Transfer your weight over to your left foot, and your right foot's just going to hover a little bit off the ground. So flex it and hover above the ground. Now your right leg is not going to move. It's going to stay where it is. But you're going to hinge from the hips. So you might have to bend your left knee a little bit. You're going to hinge from the hips, come halfway down and sweep your arms back. So think long spine here. And then bring your arms forwards. Come back up to stand. Both arms reach up. Same side. So right foot is still hovering. You're going to hinge from the hips, come halfway down, sweep your arms back. And then your arms come forwards and up. So one more time. You're going to come halfway down. Reach your arms back and pause there. Now I want you to bring your right heel in towards your right glute and squeeze it. Squeeze the heel of the glute, keep the long spine, hold there for 3, for 2. Bring your right foot to a hover, bring your arms forwards, come back up to stand, both arms reach up. Transfer your weight over to your right foot, hover your left foot above the ground. Hinging from the hips, come halfway down, sweep the arms back. Bring your arms forwards. Come back up to stand. 2 more. Hinge from the hips. Come halfway down. Leave that left leg right where it is. Arms come forwards and up. One more time. Come halfway down. Reach your arms back. So staying there. Now bring that left heel tight towards the glute. Hug it in. And then bring that left foot back to a hover. Sweep your arms forwards and come up to stand. Set your foot down, set that prop off to the side, give your legs a good shake. Feet hip distance apart, reach both arms up towards the ceiling, and then fold forwards in towards the legs. Take a halfway lift to lengthen your spine. Bend your knees and take a big step back with your right leg. Your feet are on separate tracks. Drop your right heel down to the center of the mat. Now feel like you're pulling your heels in towards one another. Your right arm is going to reach forwards and your left arm is going to reach back. Feel like the hands are reaching away from one another. Lift the chest just slightly above your left thigh. So you're hovering your chest above the thigh. Feel like you're zipping those heels in towards one another. Pause there. So feeling that engagement in the shape through the left hamstring. Keep pulling that left heel back. Now sweep your left arm forwards and up. Come up to stand, root down through the outer edge of that back foot, and intend your tailbone down on the ground. So for me, the warrior one, instead of focusing on squaring the hips to the front, just let them fall where they may. Draw the ribs in and keep reaching the arms up. And now we're going to open up for warrior two. So your stance, you might have to widen the stance a bit more. Wiggle the right foot back. Keep bending the front leg, but can you feel that drawing into center again? Draw the heels in towards one another. Reverse your warrior. Left arm's going to reach up and over. And then come back into warrior two. Windmill, your hands down onto the ground, frame your left foot. Turn on the ball of your back foot and step back into plank. With your knees up or down, you're going to bend the elbows and lower all the way down onto the ground. Untuck the toes, wrap the elbows in. Baby cobra, lift your chest forwards and up. Lower the chest down. Tuck your toes under, press through table, and come into downward dog. Lifting your heels up, bending your knees, stepping forwards, coming to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift to lengthen the spine. Fold forwards and towards your legs. Coming to stand, both arms sweep up. Hands come together, heart prayer. Arms reach up. Hinging from the hips, fold forwards in the legs. Halfway lift to lengthen. Set the hands down, take a big step back with your left leg. Drop your left heel down to the center of the mat. Feel your heels pull in towards one another. Left arm is going to reach forwards and your right arm is going to reach back. Pull the hands away from one another. Hover your chest above the right thigh and pause there. So see if you can find a little bit more engagement through the right hamstring here. And then rooting down through both feet, just reach your right arm forwards and come up to stand. Arms reach up, hug the ribs in, send the tailbone down, and root down through that back foot. And then open up, warrior two. So arms out to the side, bending in the front leg. Feel like you're pulling your front heel to your back heel. And then reverse, right arm up and over. Windmill your hands down onto the ground. Turn on the ball of your back foot, step back in plank. Lower all the way down onto the floor. Untuck the toes, baby cobra, chest lifts forwards and up. And then lower the chest down. Tuck the toes under, press through table. Downward dog. Heels are going to lift. Bending your knees, stepping forwards, come to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift to lengthen, and then fold forwards into your legs. Coming to stand, both arms sweep up. Reaching the arms up, transfer your weight over to your left foot. Hover your right foot and envision that prop is there in between your thighs. So right leg stays where it is. You're going to hinge from the hips, sweep your arms back, and then bring your arms forwards and come back up to stand. And again, hinge from the hips, reach your arms back, and then bring your arms forwards and come back up. So one more time, you're going to hinge from the hips, reach your arms back. Stay there, but now bring your right heel towards your right glute, so squeeze it in. Keeping the heel towards the glute, start to lift your right thigh up. So now your thigh is parallel-ish to the floor. You're going to bend your standing leg. So as you bend your left leg, keep the right thigh lifted and reach both arms forwards. Pause there. Then straighten the right leg back and take a big step back and land in warrior one. So ground the foot, reach both arms up. Open up your stance for warrior two. Reverse your warrior, left arm up and over. And then come back into warrior two. Windmill your hands down onto the ground, hands frame your left foot, turn on the ball of your back foot. Sweep your left leg back and up for a three-legged plank. And then nice and slow, you're going to lower all the way down onto the ground. Untuck the right toes. So press the right foot, the top of the right foot into the ground. Stack your hands, rest your forehead on the hands, and bring your left heel to your glute. Keep squeezing your heel towards the glute and lift your left thigh up. And then tap the thigh down. Lift the left thigh up and then tap it down. Keep going. Next time you lift the thighs, stay there. And then let it go. Straighten that left leg back. Set your hands beside the lower rib cage. Tuck your toes under. Press through table. Downward dog. Heels lift. Bend your knees. Make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift to lengthen. And then fold forwards into your legs. Coming to stand, both arms sweep up. Keep your arms up. Transfer your weight to your right foot. Hover your left foot above the ground. Hinging from the hips, come halfway down, sweep your arms back. Arms come forwards and back up to stand. Same thing, come halfway down, reach your arms back. And then bring your arms forwards and up. One more time, you're gonna come halfway down, pause there. So arms reach back, think long spine. Squeeze your left heel in towards the glute. Keep squeezing the heel to the glute, but start to lift the left thigh up. Keeping the left thigh lifted, heel to glute. Now bend your right leg. So bend the right standing leg. Sweep your arms forwards. Then start to straighten your left leg. And take a step back, warrior one. Ground the foot, both arms reach up. Open up, warrior two. Reverse, right arm reaches up and over. Windmill your hands down to frame your right foot, turn on the ball of your back foot. Three-legged plank, sweep your right leg back and up. Keeping the right leg up, lower all the way down onto the floor. Untuck the left toes. Stack your hands, rest your forehead on the hands. Squeeze your right heel in towards the glute. Keep squeezing the heel in, lift your thigh up, and then tap it down. Keep going. Next time you lift up, pause. And then let it go. Hands beside the lower rib cage, tuck the toes under. Table or full plank. Downward dog. Heels lift. Bend your knees, hop or step, top of the mat. Halfway lift to lengthen. And then fold forwards into your legs. Coming to stand, reach both arms up. Hands come together, heart prayer. Both arms reach up. Hinge from the hips, fold forwards. Halfway lift. Set the hands down, step back into plank. Chaturanga, your back bend of choice, baby cobra or up dog. And then meeting in downward dog. We'll take a few breaths here. Go inwards. Use your breath to come back to the present. Heels lift, bend the knees, hop or step, top of the mat. Halfway lift, fold into the legs. Coming to stand, both arms reach up. Hands come together, heart prayer. Both arms reach up. Fold forwards into your legs. Lengthen the spine. Set the hands down, step back into plank. Chaturanga, your back bend of choice. Baby cobra or up dog. And then meeting in downward dog. Grounding through your hands. We're going to move through one more round. Heels lift, bend the knees. Make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, folding down. Arms sweep up. Hands come together, heart prayer. Last round, arms up. Fold forwards. Halfway lift. Hands down, step or hop back. You're connecting flow here. Heels lift. Bend your knees, make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, lengthen. Fold it down. Coming to stand, both arms sweep up. Arms stay up, transfer your weight to your left foot and hover your right foot. Just one round. Come halfway down, sweep your arms back. Bring that right heel in towards your right glute. Keep squeezing the heel in, but start to lift the thigh up. Bend your standing leg, get as low as you can and reach your arms forwards. Keep the right thigh lifted, heel to glute. Start to straighten your right leg back. Warrior one, ground the foot, reach both arms up. Open up for warrior two. Reverse it, left arm up. Come back into warrior two. And then this time you're gonna straighten both legs, turn to the right side of your mat. And you're gonna bend into the right leg. So you're gonna come into a skater. So as you drop the hips, start to actively press the right knee open, down through both feet, and then go over to the left side. And you're just gonna go side to side. And then next time you bend into your left leg, pivot to face the front. Hands frame your left foot, turn on the ball of your right foot. Sweep your left leg back and up, three-legged plank, and lower all the way down onto the ground. Bring both heels in towards the glutes. You're going to interlace the hands behind the back. Flex your feet like your feet are on the ceiling. Root your thighs into the floor. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the chest up. Lift the hands off the glutes. Reach your knuckles back, but press your thighs into the floor. And then lower down. Send the legs back, back, and take your hands beside the lower rib cage. Tuck your toes under, table or full plank, downward dog. Heels lift, bend your knees, make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, fold into your legs. Coming to stand, arms sweep up. Keep the arms up, transfer your weight to your right foot, hover your left foot. Come halfway down, sweep your arms back. Bring that left heel in towards your glute. Start to lift the left thigh up. Bend your standing leg, get low and sweep your arms forwards, pause there. Send your left leg back. Warrior one, back, drop your back heel, both arms reach up. Open up for warrior two. Reverse, right arm up. Back into warrior two. So straighten your front leg, pivot to the face of the left side of your mat. Feet parallel to the short ends. Bend into your left leg, skater. And then go over to your right side. So continue going side to side and try to go like your hips are moving on one straight line so you're not going up and down. Next time you bend on the right leg, pivot to face the front. Hands down to the floor, turn on the ball of your back foot. Three-legged plank, sweep your right leg back and up, and then lower all the way down onto the ground. Both heels come in towards the glutes. Interlace the hands behind the back, weird grip. So palms together, just take the weird thumb on top. Feet flex like they're on the ceiling, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, root your thighs down, lift the hands off the glutes, and reach your knuckles back. And then lower down. So just stack your hands, rest your forehead on the hands. Keep the knees bent, but let your feet relax. And then the feet are just going to sway side to side. And shake the legs out. You're going to flip over onto your backs. So as you come down onto your backs, just bring both knees in towards your chest and rock a little side to side. Place your left foot down on the ground, straighten your right leg up towards the ceiling, interlacing the hands somewhere behind that right leg. Just holding the leg in place. You can point or flex your right foot. And start to guide that right leg a little closer to you, and you might have to bend that right leg a little bit or a lot. You can also use a towel or a strap here and hook around the foot. Place your right foot on top of the left thigh, figure four. So just open the right knee out to the right side. And you can stay in the shape that you're in, or you can take that left foot off the ground and interlace the hands behind the left hamstring or shin. We're going to change sides. So now set your right foot on the ground and take your left leg to the ceiling, interlacing the hands somewhere behind that left leg. Drawing the left toes closer to you. Just notice if you're really hiking that left hip up high. Root down through your pelvis. There's a slight external rotation happening from the left hip. And figure four, left foot on top of the right thigh. And draw the right knee in towards your chest. Interlacing the hands behind the hamstring of the shin. Set both feet down on the mat, take your arms out to the side, and just let your knees rock from one side and then over to the other. And set yourself up for your final posture. Take your legs long out in front of you. Relaxing the back of the hands on the floor, palms face up. Coming back into your breath. With each exhale, can you soften a little bit more? Letting go where you might still be resisting. And if you have a time, I highly encourage you to stay here for 5 minutes or maybe even more. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Remember to always be humble, be kind. Namaste.